The Amazing Spider-Man 18.Hugh, written by Nick Spencer, art by Ken Lashley. So yeah, this is my pick of the week. It was not War of the Realms. It was this kind of obscure, kind of hidden gem book from Nick Spencer. Like, this is sort of a throwaway tie-in comic, but I freaking loved it, man. It was so cool, so good, so sad. So sad. So in this story, it's tying to the hunted event that's sort of going on, but this issue is just focusing on one particular villain, one particular character, and that character is this guy named Gibbon. Now, I'm not too familiar with this Gibbon character, but we learn all about him in this and sort of his life journey, and I thought it was great. So there's this Gibbon character. He's like this half human, half monkey looking guy, and he got picked on at school, and we see people laughing at him. And he was never particularly strong or particularly that great at fighting. You know, as he grew up, he met Spider-Man, he joined the circus, he hooked up with Craven at one point, and they were doing some villain stuff. He teamed up with this guy, the Grizzly. At one point, this Gibbon, he marries this villain named Princess Python, aka Zelda, and she lost her eyesight, so he cared for her because most people wouldn't love this Gibbon, but because this girl is down on her luck and she's sort of going blind and Gibbon cares for her, you know, she's willing to marry this Gibbon. But then once she starts getting better, she gets bored of this Gibbon and she leaves Gibbon for this other villain named Limewire. And then, you know, we're learning more of this Gibbon sort of life story, and it's all kind of sad and kind of depressing. Eventually, Taskmaster kidnaps him and brings him into whatever this whole hunted game is that he has got going on in Central Park right now in the Spider-Man storyline. And this Gibbon, he's in there with all the other villains, and he gets shot by one of these Craven robots, driven by one of these rich people that's going on in this hunted storyline. So Gibbon's shot with these bow and arrows or whatever. And then finally Spider-Man runs into Gibbon in that Central Park, and this Gibbon is dying, and Gibbon dies in Spider-Man's arms, and it's really sad. And that's how this issue ends. But I thought it was just a great exploration of this D-list character that Nick Spencer is so great at going with these obscure characters. If you read his Superior Foes of Spider-Man book, that's all it was. He took these, D and C list Spider-Man villains, and he told this whole great story with it. And I loved seeing him return to that in this issue. And we're learning all about this Gibbon guy and sort of his sad life story. And I really felt for him. And I love when a book I wouldn't expect just really blows me away. And and that's why it makes it my pick of the week, because this was fantastic. I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Very interesting stuff.